Hi everyone, we are live from Silicon Slopes. My name is Kristina Ayanian and I'm your host with Nasdaq. Joining me today is President of Clarus, John Walbrecht. Thank you so much for joining us, John.
Thank you, Kristina, appreciate it.
Can you tell us about Clarus, your three business segments, and where you see the company going in the next 5 years?
Okay, thank you. So Clarus is a buyer, builder, developer of what we call superfan brands in the outdoor space. We focus on brands that have leading market share, have a history of innovation, and have 100% market share amongst the super athlete or the geek. We own Black Diamond, which is arguably the most badass mountain brand. We own Pieps, which is the brand for alpine snow safety. We own the two best bullet brands in the market, that of Sierra and Barnes, and then an adventure segment, which is Rhino, Rack, and Maxtrax. And we've seen significant growth, 300% growth in the last few years. Stock has been one of the best performers, and we continue to see this growing with the continued version of outdoorism.
With regards to the precision sport business, how does it differentiate from your peers in the ammo and bullet space?
So we make the very best of the best. We call it the Porsche and the Ferrari. We make the most long distance accurate bullets, and we make the best hunting bullets in the world. And we focus on the precision 1% of the marketplace. And that has really insulated us from a lot of the changes and the cycles that have taken place in the bullet and ammo business.
What are your growth drivers for the Black Diamond part of the business?
Black Diamond has been an equipment brand for the last 50 plus years. It is the badass equipment brand, and in the last 3 or 4 years we've launched aggressively into apparel and footwear. And those have become our fastest growing categories with the explosion of the outdoor since COVID and beyond.
And it seems like the US is a great opportunity for the Rhino Rack business. So can you tell us more about the US versus Australia?
Yeah. So starting with COVID, we saw this expansion of racks. Individual goes to REI, buys a kayak. While he's worrying about whether he buys a carbon paddle or aluminum paddle, the guy behind the desk is thinking, guys, that's the least of your worries. I'm about to sell you a $1,000 rack unless you want to drag your kayak home. And so we thought of the explosion of racks. What we thought is the superfan brand was Rhino Rack out of Australia, where they had more than 50 plus market share in the number one market. When we look to the US, the market is 10 times the size, but 10 years behind, and Rhino Rack had less than 2% market share. And we see that trend coming. It used to be viewed that Ford Taurus was Taurus's number one car, and yet today it's the F-150 followed by F-150 followed by F-150. And we really see the explosion of Jeeps and SUVs and pickup trucks as the future, and that's off-roading.
And what are you seeing in the M&A market?
It's an exciting time in M&A. We've all seen the deterioration of the multiples in the market, but at the same time, we really look for these super fan brands that are often founder-led. Founders typically don't want to partner with strategics because they steal their great ideas and put it in their lame brands, or they don't want to sell to PE firms because they don't recognize their child after 2 or 3 years. And most of them love their businesses more than their child, so they would have given it to them. And so we really see a big opportunity there in this transition, and with the multiples down and the explosion of outdoorism, we think there's a lot of M&A opportunities.
Great, thank you so much for sharing your story,
Appreciate it.
And we look forward to continue supporting you as a Nasdaq listed company.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
That was great.